Nourished out. The whole place is pickled. The people are pickles for sure. And no one knows if they've done more here than they ever would do in the jar. This could be Rotterdam or anywhere. Liverpool or Rome. Oh, what's going on? Oh, it's my live stream. Alexa, shut up. Hello, if anybody's there, sorry about that. I forgot I was doing the live. I'm just cutting up some strips so that we can smell some stuff. Hi, Rich, Mitch, first. Always first, Rich. Do you know what? Sometimes it's not always good to be first. Hey, Peter. Peter's at work. So thank you for popping in, Peter. Good to see you. How is the audio? Yes, Rachel, it's now. It's right now. How's my audio? I've got a microphone plugged into the phone. Hello, Rachel. All good, is it? Okay, I think I might bring the camera in a little bit closer. I've got bottles of Coke, bottles of vodka, bottles of more Coke, and we are going to bring this in a little bit closer, down a little bit, if I can. Oh, now we're all angled and wrong. Is that okay, positioning wise? I think I need to bring you down a little bit. But then, ooh. Better? Thank you, Rachel. So I'll get my comments up on the trusty laptop and just say all the hellos first. So Mel's here, Mel Taylor. Oh, let's change that a little bit. Oh, Mel, nice to see you. Glad you could make it. Rich is only first under certain circumstances. Good to know. Iwona, hello, greetings from Poland. Hi, how cold is it in Poland? Let me know. How cold is it where you are? So here in the UK, it's not too bad. It is a bit chilly. It's definitely winter now. Where are you in the world and how is your weather? Let's start with the weather because that's what us Brits love to talk about. Cecilia, hello, greetings from Roswell, GA. I don't know what that is. Is that a state oh, Sweetie's here. Come on. Come up then. Come on then. Sweetie's joining in. Come on in. She's just sniffing the vodka. Here she is. You can see a bit of tail action. So you're in Georgia. Oh God, no, don't go there. So there's a table here that's full of fragrances and my large glass of Diet Coke. And Sweetie wanted to get on that table, which of course would be disastrous. Okay, Georgia. What's it like? Georgia, that's south, isn't it? Is that South America? Not South America, but southern. Is it warm? Is it warm, Cecilia? Yes, Rich, her meow has some stash. She's a noisy bitch. Aren't you, Sweetie? She's right behind me here. Susan, hello, where's that kitty? She's right here, Sweetie. Oh, you're so noisy. Come on then, let's say hello to everybody. Don't claw the furniture. Come on, say hello. Oh, sorry. Okay, that's Sweetie kind of saying hello in a very bitchy way. Cheers, everyone. What time of day is it for you? It's 8:30 p.m. here. I've had 2 drinks so far. 2 drinks and I did my nails. I don't know if you can see, they are sparkly, kind of like Dorothy's slippers. Gareth, hello from Norway. Wow. Hello, Gareth, and thank you. Yes, the cat is nice. Sometimes not nice and sometimes super cute. Georgia on my mind. Yeah, love that song. Above Florida, raining and cold now for Cecilia. And Cecilia's a good song too. Cecilia, you're breaking my heart. Yeah. Bonjour, bonjour, just Adelaide. Hello. Where are you based, Just Add Light? And what is your real name? I'm really curious because I see you all the time, all over everything in Fragcom. I'd love to know a bit more about you. Mel, in London, likely the same weather. Yes, yep. Cheers. Red or white, Mel, or somewhere in between. Cheers, everyone. What's your beverage of the night? Mine's the usual. It's Diet Coke with a little tiny bit of vodka in it. Red wine for Mel. Rich Mitch caked in scent. What are you wearing, Rich Mitch? I'll tell you what I'm wearing. Because it's designer night here, I'm wearing Garland's Mon Galant Eau de Parfum Intense. This is how much I've used. I'm really enjoying this. And it smells kind of like there's a savoury element. There's a vanilla and there's a savoury element going on in here, which I really enjoy. It's not too sweet like so many designers are. It's obviously lavender, but it's vanilla-y and caramelly, but savoury at the same time. So that's my scent of the night. What's yours? Tell me. Peter Hasunohana from Grossmith. Don't know that one, Peter. What's it like? What's the notes? And Mark Anderson, cheers, heading to my friends for drinks. Glad I missed in the chat. Catch up tomorrow. Pillowcase. It's not pillowcase. Isn't it sleep not? Is it sleep not or pillow talk? Pillow talk, because I saw your Instagram. It's pillow talk, isn't it? Drinking prosecco. I saw your glass of prosecco as well on Instagram. So cheers. Have a lovely evening, Mark. Rich, have you ever smelled Yastis by Givenchy? Probably, but not in the last decade or so. Iwona's Molinard Vanille Patchouli. Molinards, I think, are a very underrated company. I need to explore them a little bit more myself. Kay Steigen saying hello to everybody. Everybody say hello to Kay Steigen. Peter, a bit vintagey, a bit opium. Oh, I like a bit of opium. Very, very nice. Sounds good. Anyone else want to share your scent of the night? Go ahead. Mel, tried out by Tigger Veneta L'Absolu. That's mixed in with everything else I tried. Yeah, when you go shopping, you have to try everything, don't you? All on skin to make sure you give it a fair go. Just Add Light, Scent of the Afternoon's Herod and Chariel's Royal Leather. Rich Mitch Molinar's fantastic house, been around for centuries. Yes, I think I like a house with a bit of history. I mean, there's some really fantastic new companies, but it's kind of exciting to have a little bit of history as well, I think. Oh, cheers. Oh, my little pussycat. Look at her. Look at her. Hello, sweetie. She's such an angel. Okay, so the topic of conversation tonight is designers. Oh, thank you, Just Add Light. I've got two tops on. I'm not sure you can see it all. Oh, there's not much top actually. It's probably a bit low. Top from Primark. It's kind of like, it's almost like underwear, and then another top on top. Kay Steigen's wearing Champaca Absolute. Very nice. I had a decant of that. Tried that. It's really nice. Tracy, hi Tracy. Comfort Incense. Haven't tried any Molinards. Which ones do you recommend? I put that out to everybody who's tried Molinard. I still need to explore it properly. I think the vanilla one's quite nice because they're quite affordable, aren't they? So who can recommend anything from Tracy to like from Molinard? Arthur Scargill, I thought you died. Arthur Scargill, scent of the day is Heritage from Galan. Very nice. Peter, loving the older designers, 80s and 90s, not so much the newer. Yeah, I think I'm with you on that. When I'm looking at my, where are they? I've got all my bottles here. And when I'm looking at them, there's quite a few that are discontinued, older stuff more so than the modern. And the modern stuff I've got more as not an accident, but I'll explain. Susan, what a sweet kitty. She is lovely. Sweetie, look at the cat. Come on, look over here. That's it. Say hello to everybody. She's purring behind me. She's so cute. Okay. So, design. I feel like I'm quite... Is the camera angle okay? I'm not sure. I'd like to get more sweetie in it if I could, but it's difficult to do. I don't know if that's going to do much. Probably not. Maybe if I bring it down just a tiny bit. Sorry about this. Oh, that's not doing anything. Wrong button. Wrong button. Ah! Okay. Is that better, worse, or just the same? How's that? Oh, look at little sweetie's face. Rachel, good designer frags depend on the perfumer. If they get a good one, it's a winner. If they go off, if I'm not quite sure what you just Roberta, then who knows who makes it. Yeah, I think I like to know. Sometimes they don't even tell you who the perfumer is, and I like to know, and I don't think you can always guarantee a good perfume, because even with the best perfumers, sometimes it depends who's the creative director or who's the marketing team. Sometimes they can still come out a bit pants. And I don't mean to be horrible, but for example, everyone knows Alberto Marias is supposed to be a superstar perfumer. However, I really didn't get on with Jeremy's The Office. So, and I'm sure there's plenty of others that aren't that great. That's not necessarily down to the perfumer. It's just maybe down to the direction, the budget, the marketing team, the focus group, all that stuff. What does everyone else think about that? While I have a drink, if that's okay. Cecilia's wearing Jungle Jezebel today. That's by Miguel Matos for Sarah Baker. I'm wearing Good Designer, in my opinion, Girl of Now by Elie Saab. I think Dominique Ropion and L'Interdit by Givenchy. I really like Girl of Now. It's just a bit too sweet for my taste. It just takes it just too sweet for me. But I really like it. I just can't wear it for too long. It's just too sweet. Rachel, it's budget and time. Yeah. Iwona, one of my current favourites, Nina Ricci, L'Extase Rose Absolue. That's by Francis Kirk Dijon. I'm sure I smelt that in an airport duty-free once, and I was really impressed. It's quite gourmandish, isn't it? Sort of vanilla-y caramel, is it? Rich Marias has made some incredible stuff. Heart isn't in it with Daniel. I'm not quite sure. I've lost it. I've lost the plot. I'm just going to stroke my cat and think about that for a moment. So, I have got all my designers here. Peter, yes, Dominique Ropion is one of the best. Peter actually sent me a backup bottle of one of my absolute favourite fragrances ever, and it is Dominique Ropion behind that fragrance. So this is my original bottle, and then Peter sent me a 30ml. I actually have both of them kind of out, and I'll take the 30ml on holiday or away on little breaks and stuff. But that's my bigger bottle, and it's Alien Essence Absolute, and that's the Dominique Ropion. And I do think Dominique Ropion's probably one of my favourite perfumers, because I love Portrait of a Lady as well, and there's tons of others that he's done. Essence Absolute is so good. Daniel's Jeremy's real name. Oh yeah, Daniel Schultz, isn't it? Yeah, okay. Eugene saying hello, Clarice. Hi Eugene, thanks for joining us. Iwona, yes, it's a bit gourmandy. Dominique Ropion made Lab on Fire. Is it the Lab on Fire? Is it What We Do in Paris? Or no, was it Messy, Sassy, Messy, Get Out of Bed, Don't Get Out of Bed, but if you do have a bad hair day? Was it that one? Rachel O got the Essence Absolute next to my bed. Oh, I love this. Who loves this fragrance? It's one of the best vanilla heavy fragrances ever, I think. It's kind of rich and incensey and resinous and stunning. Rich Mitch loves Sheldrake, Monardo and Bourdon. I definitely love quite a few by Annick Monardo. There's not, as far as I know, Sheldrake only made perfumes for Serge Lutens. Is that right? It's interesting you mentioned Sheldrake because I have got the, what's it called? Couche de Diable, which is the new one from Serge Lutens. I've got a sample here, which I'm planning to smell with you lot if you stick around and see what we make of it. I had a sneaky sniff earlier and it was here. I've showered since, but yeah. So I was hoping to explore that and see what if any of you have tried it. Susan sampling Amo Ferragamo. It's nice, but I felt like I've smelled it before. That's getting quite a lot of love. Amo. Has that one got almond in it? I remember thinking I should probably try it. And usually when I think that, it might have almond in it. Okay, Sergeant. Yes, the one with the messy hair. Yes, so messy, sexy, get out of bed. Messy, sexy, just rolled out of bed. I think that's it. Sheldrake makes Chanel's now. That's right. I think I just watched a review and they explained that Sheldrake makes Serge Lutens fragrances but also is a creative director over at Chanel. Thoughts on Alien Fusion for Just Add Light. I only sniffed it in a shop, so I can't really genuinely give it much thought, really. I tried it, it didn't excite me, I moved on. That's it. I love this one. This is always going to be my favourite Alien, I think. And the original Aliens, I like it on other people, but it's way too much. And what did I smell? So the Fusion was the most recent one in the red bottle. Quite nice, but it just didn't grab me. I think, is that got ginger in it? And yeah, it just didn't really excite me too much. But it takes a lot to excite me, actually. Rich Mitch Sheldrake better than Eleanor, in my honest opinion. The Sentient Man. Hey Claire. Le Bleu Eau de Parfum for the Sentient Man. Very nice. I have a decant of that just over here as part of my designer thing. Peter's Eleanor's overrated. Sorry, fans of his. Yeah. I don't know. I mean, I'm not one of those people who has an encyclopedia. You know what I mean? Of perfumers, and I don't always know who the perfumer is behind the fragrance that I like or I'm talking about. I just know that quite a few that I like are by Dominique Ropion. Quite a few I like because I like Garland are by Thierry Wasser. I've got a cat hair on my face, it's making me itch. My stomach's rumbling because when I had lunch and it was quite late and, you know, I skipped dinner. So, oh, is it nice that Sweetie's just sat here, just listening to me rambling on. Right then, so, where was I? So, designer fragrances. So, the question really, and I'd like you all to think about it and to answer, is do you think designers are better? In your opinion, do you prefer designer fragrances to niche? Which I guess in some ways you could say, well, they're more affordable, they're easier to find, they're easier to test, they're easier to find out about. Do you prefer niche? I'm a little bit of a niche snob, so I think you can probably guess my answer. However, I think there are some designer fragrances that are better than a lot of niche fragrances, but I do think they're few and far between, and generally speaking, I look back to fragrances from the past for those that are really kind of exciting. Not so much the modern releases, to me, are kind of, they're all doing the same thing. They're all trying to achieve a lot of sales and they have to be mass appealing, and therefore they kind of follow trends, and that can get a bit annoying if you're really into fragrances, I think. But I'd love you all to join in on that. Am I right? Am I wrong? Do you agree? What do you think? Designers better than niche, yay or nay? Lara, I like niche and indie best except Garland. Actually, what is Garland even? Because this is something that comes up quite a lot. Is Garland niche? Is it designer? In my head, and whenever I talk about designer fragrances, I'm including Garland, or certainly the standard line that you will find in a department store. The normal priced, if you find a fragrance in a department store alongside designer fragrances, I'm calling it designer, just for the sake of, that's how I'm classifying shit. So come on, people, tell me what you think. Is designer better than niche, or do you prefer niche, or do you prefer indie, or do you class indie as niche? God, this is getting confusing. DC Jim R. Hi Claire, I think it's hard to generalise, but there are some beautiful designer fragrances by Dior and Chanel, and some really overrated niche fragrances. Yes, exactly. Adino Bass, designer's better than niche. Okay. I think there are some absolutely awesome designer fragrances. Susan Men, I love Shalimar Souffle. Wore it the other day and got compliments from it. Where have I got it? I've got that here. Souffle de Parfum by Garland. That's my peacock bottle. This one, when I first got it, I wore it loads and it became one of my most worn fragrances for a while, and then I kind of stopped wearing it and I've kind of got a little bit bored of it, but I really like it. I do. I think it's a gorgeous musky orange blossom, fluffy cloud-like fragrance that's absolutely beautiful and can be worn anytime, anywhere, and you just smell bloody good. It is a really, really nice one. That's that one. Oh, I think an advert just interrupted us. I do apologise. Oh, and my volume's suddenly gone up on my laptop as well. Let me sort that out, because you don't want to hear me in double. Okay, right. Kay Sturgeon saying, struggle to find designers I really like, but at the same time I prefer easy to like niche. Yeah, I think I'm kind of there in the same play park with you there. There are some exceptions. I love Garland and Chanel. Adino Bays. I'm also 27 and want stuff that's mass appealing. Niche smells old, and people in my world will think it smells bad. I don't know, Adino. What are you testing? Because I've got lots of niche. I'm more into indies. I've got a lot more indie than I have actual like bullshit niche. I've got a lot of indies, and if you go to a company, say for example like 4160 Tuesdays, I'd say they're very young smelling. There's nothing too old. There's a few vintagey things which are lovely, but they're definitely quirky and fun. So it depends what niche you've tried, I guess. Just said light. I think personal discernment is key. There are gems all over the place, but mostly in the past, yeah. Wouldn't limit myself to any one domain. Definitely not. Mel likes a bit of everything, but lately try more small UK-based perfumers, as I love 4160 Tuesdays approach. And Rachel, to my mind, perfumers making for designer houses depends on the materials. Yeah, exactly. It all comes down to the house itself, the brief, the budget, the materials, and the creativity. I mean, if you're going to come out with a shitty bullshit concept of let's try and make the most mass appealing fragrance in the world, it's going to be absolutely poo, isn't it? Or let's make a fragrance that costs £2 to make and sell it for £200, it's gonna smell shit, and everyone's gonna get pissed off. Or maybe the Emperor's New Clothes situation sets in, and people think that because it was expensive, it's good. So Rachel, the brief they're given to work with, it's rare these days designer houses come up with out of the box fragrances. Yes, I think Gucci have done that quite well though with that memoir, the green one. I mean, I don't necessarily love the fragrance, but I think they're really brave to come out with what they've come out with. And that Gucci Absolute, the men's one, the very strong smoky vetiver. Again, I don't love the smell, but I got to hand it to Gucci for the braveness of releasing something that's not mass appealing. Yes, Rachel, it's a massive gamble for big houses, because the large houses do put thousands and thousands of pounds into their campaigns, whereas the smaller houses can experiment. They can release something, and if it's not successful, they just stop, they just discontinue. So I do get that. I understand why the designers have to be a bit more mass appealing, but sometimes you just get sick of all the sameness of it all. Peter, isn't all the focus groups and trend predictors mainly for designer stuff now? Yeah, I think they take a fragrance or notes maybe to a group of people and just go with the majority. And the thing with that is the majority of normal people are going to choose things they're comfortable with and things that they're used to smelling. So that's not going to generate creativity, is it? Susan, doesn't really matter to me as long as it smells good. I'll try anything from $200 niche to $20 celebrity. I'm just a frag junkie, period. What I really love are vintage perfumes. I'm just exploring vintage a little bit now, and yeah, it's kind of fun, but it's like a whole nother world. It's a massive, I mean, niche for me was a huge rabbit hole, and now vintage is another rabbit hole that I have to try not to fall down too hard. Peter, they should use half of their marketing budget into a better product. Yeah. Rachel, Fruit Rich Mitch, have you smelled Queer Canage? I haven't, Rich. Has anyone else? Catch my whiff saying hello, good evening, hi. Just said, like, are there focus groups in the niche or indie realms, I wonder? I doubt there are so much for the indies, because wouldn't that be a bit expensive? But probably, would there be for the likes of the bigger niche brands? Interesting idea. Catch My Whiff just got samples sent from Mr. Oz. I think he's going to do well. So Mr. Oz is releasing his own brand. I've only just heard about that the other day. In my last live stream, we were talking about that. Can you tell us anything about them, Catch My Whiff? What's the price point? What are the fragrances like? Are they mass appealing? Are they very weird niche? Are they somewhere in between? I'd love to know. Eva Moodle, I prefer the exclusive line from the designers. I have to say, for the most part, I do agree. I probably prefer the Chanel exclusives, and I do really love the Garland exclusives. Yeah. Only because I guess I assume they have a bigger budget and they can be a little bit more stranger, a little bit more niche. Susan, I have the Peacock bottle too and wanting to try the Intense now as an Orange Blossom junkie. I had a sample of the Intense. It was quite nice, a bit more incensey, so a little bit more richer. Iwona, most of the designer fragrances are too mishmashy, maybe to please everybody. Everybody, nobody, you may choose. Valadina, hi Valadina. I find niche fragrances better priced in Europe than they are in America. Peter Corcoran likes the Galat line, the latte matière. Moi aussi. I love my Bois d'Harmonie and my Iris Ganache. I think they're pretty much all gorgeous, but they're the two that I needed to own. I did have Cuir Beluga. I really enjoyed Cuir Beluga, but I didn't need to keep that because I find them all a little similar with the rich vanillas that they have, and I don't think you need to own too many. So David Barnes, hi David. David Barnes from the UK. Also Raj, Sentient Man. Raj is from the UK. Houses like Diptyque, Anika Goutal, Penhaligon's. And the perfect middle ground, a bit more expensive, better ingredients generally, but without spending Roger level prices. Yes, good point. There are definitely middle of the road, affordable to a degree, niche houses that seem to have some creativity and some individuality. Raj is letting Rich know that Rich is always first. Rich, you've got to sort that out, mate. Just Had Light, yes, +1 for Penhaligon's. Big fan of their stuff. Still never found the one from Penhaligon's that I love. Cecilia, prefer niche indie. They are different, more exciting. I do love Mugler and Shalimar Diable Poison, Oud Bouquet. Oud Bouquet by Lancôme. I only smelt it briefly, but just knowing that there's oud in there, I never felt the need to really explore it too much. Eva Moody, yep. Fève and Latte Matière. Rose Baba is one of the non-vanilla. Yes. Is Rose Baba a bit oudy or a bit patchouli? I've never quite... Rose Baba and Rose Nacre du Dessert, I never quite fell for them. And I'm not sure if they were a bit too oriental, a bit too Middle Eastern. Catch My Whiff. Discovery set of the 5 motif olfactive fragrances. So these are the ones from Mr. Oz. So YouTuber Mr. Oz has a discovery set, $30 US. That's not too bad, is it? That's all right. I just said, like, Mr. Oz has a great nose. How do you like Mon Oasis Catch My Whiff? Yeah, let us know. I don't know the names of the fragrances, the notes or anything. So if you want to shed light on those, that would be lovely. Catch My Whiff's only tried on skin. Nectar Boisé. It's got a great fruity opening with a wood backing. It sounds nice. Susan Men. My fave orange blossom scent right now is Aqua Allegoria Nerolia Bianca. Wanting to try some Elie Saab and more Jean Paul Gaultier's. Tried Scandal, but the honey came off too medicinal on me. Okay, Rich, has Oswald managed to get European shipping sorted yet? Yes, let's find out about that. I'd love to know if we can get Mr. Oz's frags over here in the UK. That would be good. Let's talk about some more designers that I've got sat right here. So, I haven't got many men's. I do apologise. There's only 2 marketed to men fragrances here. And I think I've got a decant of 1 or 2 over there as well. But so we'll start with one more female. I've already spoken about my scent of the night, so Montguerlain. I really love Montguerlain Eau de Parfum Intense, and I think the whole Montguerlain line, for a kind of designer line, are really, really nice. Slightly different to the pack, still very mass appealing without being like everything else. I think they're pretty good, but still very much the everyday person can wear them and enjoy them, and you're probably going to get compliments and feel comfortable with them. So let's go for the one I've got on my left wrist. This is Lady Million. What's it called? Lady Million Empire. So I've only got this because Dan, aka Mr. Smelly, lent it to me, and he got sent it by essential.com. So that's why I've got it. And I sprayed it on my wrist a good 2 hours ago. And I tell you what, when you spray it, it's a fucking sugar bomb. It is crazily sugary. I'm going to respray it now, just to remind myself how a toothache feels. So when you first spray it, it's a fruity sugar thing. I can actually feel fur building up on my toothy pegs, getting all furry because it's so bloody sugary. Very like the skin of a peach, almost like a mocktail that's got extra added sugar. So Catch My Whiff thinks that Mr. Oz's line would be pretty cloud pleasing. You know what I mean. Okay. Yeah, so when you first spray it, it's kind of a bit like a juicy fruit chewing gum with a mocktail, very fruity, very peachy, a ton of sugar and some vanilla. It's quite loud, and then it doesn't take long before it actually gets all right. So it doesn't upset me. That smell is a pleasant smell, but it feels very young, and it feels like it's aimed at 12 to 15-year-olds just because it's so sweet. And then on your skin it kind of gets musky, and a lot of what's going on just basically just fucks off, and the sugar completely goes away, and you're left with this My Skin But Better skin scent. So if you're looking for a fragrance that projects and gets you noticed, it will do it for you for the first half hour, and in a very obnoxious way. But then after that, it calms right down, and it's actually quite a nice, soft, ever so slightly fruity musk with some sweetness, which is quite pleasant, but probably not what most people are looking for, because I think the youngsters are looking for the opening notes to last, to get them noticed, and people like me, not really into anything that's that crazy loud and sweet. We quite enjoy the dry down, but don't really want to have to deal with the opening. So I feel like that's a bit of a miss, but it is quite nice. Don't dismiss it, but you have to put up with a very loud opening, a very loud, very sweet opening. Okay, I'm missing some comments. I do apologise. Rich Mitch Vintage is where I'm at the moment. Some of my favourites are Vintage M7, Vintage Paco Rabanne, Pour Homme, Essay Lord of Men. I've got Corillion by Garland as well. I don't know, I missed... Sorry, I'm now completely behind. Here we go. David Barnes, have you tried Casherelle? Yes, I am. Thinking of getting it for the wife. Casherelle, yes, I am. No, I don't think I've even heard of that, Dave. JG, have you tried, is it Pure Excess? I think I've got a sample. Look at that. Let's do it. So this is Pure Excess by Paco Rabanne. And this is one I kind of prejudged a while ago as being too sweet, much like the Lady Million Empire there. It's got notes of ylang-ylang, popcorn, ylang-ylang, hot vanilla with a popcorn burst, and a provocative floral. Don't we love a provocative floral? That's not as loud and overly sweet as the Lady Million-y one. It's more orange blossom. It's definitely a lot of orange blossom. But with a soft, almost nutty caramel style thing. It's still, at the moment, far too sweet for my taste. It's in the same ballpark as a lot of those orange blossom smells, like C from Armani. It's not bad actually. Comparing it now to the Lady Million one, I think I prefer it, certainly prefer the opening anyway. Let's just see. Sorry, just reading comments. Ooh, okay, right. Rich Mitch Aberdeen Aberdeen Lavender. From Creed, it's lush. You get it cheap-ish at discounters. I know Dan, Mr. Smelly's recently got hold of a bottle of that. He really likes it. Kay Steigen's been liking the Intense flankers lately. The Mongalan, Coco Mademoiselle. I like the Coco Mademoiselle Intense. It's just a little less. I always use the word screechy, but Coco Mademoiselle I really enjoy on other people, but I find it a little sharp. And I think the Intense kind of like just rounds it off a little bit. Just that light. Okay. So yeah, Pure Excess so far. It's not blowing me away. I do get it. I understand the popcorn. I don't know about Ylang Ylang. It's more orange blossomy to me. And again, sort of sweet, sugary, bit of vanilla. But it's pleasant enough. I think if I was 21 and someone bought me a bottle of that, I'd totally use it. Susan, I admit to having a little spray pen of La Vie est Belle. Hardly ever pick it up, have to be in the mood to wear it. The patchouli can be annoying at times. I've got a good friend who wears La Vie est Belle and I really enjoy it on her. I think it's a nice smell, but for me it's I guess a bit too common, a bit too overdone now. But it is a very nice smell. I prefer the Intense one with the extra iris and slightly less on the floral sharp side. That one's really good. L'Absolu is called L'Absolu. That's a really nice one. Where's my drink? I need my drink. Okay. Everyday products saying, what do I think of Chanel 19 Poudre? I have tried that now several times. When I walk past Chanel, it's the one I pick more often than not to do a test on my skin, and I quite like it. I do like powdery, but it's a touch green, and green is not always my thing, but I do like it, and I would say it's way up there. If you was to say to me top 5 Chanel 19 Poudre would be there. Okay, let's smell something else that we haven't already spoken about. So I'm going to go with one that my mummy dearest bought me. My mum lives in France, and so I don't see her as much as I'd like to. This she bought me once in duty free. She picked it out herself, and it was only a couple of years ago, so I was properly into my fragrances, and she just smelt stuff and chose this for me, which is really quite amazing because she picked out of the thousands of offerings in the duty free shop, she picked out something that I really, really like. And I've never said I like it. In actual fact, I don't even know if I'd tried it, but she picked it out for me because she knows what I like. And it's Marc Jacobs Decadence. The bottle is polarizing, I think we can say. It annoys me because I put it in there with all my other frags, and then if I try to pick it up, there's a danger that is going to knock everything over. So that's annoying. The bottle's not, for me, the bottle's not great. But the smell is good, and I think what they have done here is create something that doesn't smell like everything else. They've somehow done something creative and individual and still really, really nice and kind of almost mass appealing, but maybe it's slightly not as mass appealing as everything else, if that makes any sense. So the fragrance, I mean, the bottle's green and the fragrance has this greenness to it, but it doesn't smell like It doesn't smell like forests. It doesn't smell like grass. It kind of smells like dark green leaves, really, really fresh. But I also always get this feel of rose, violet, and chocolate, and it's very, very smooth and a bit fresh. It's really pleasant. It's very, very pleasant. And yeah, Mummy Dearest did very well picking that up for me. I don't wear it that often because I am a bit of a niche snob, but I would say out of all of my designers, this gets more of an airing than most. And I like the Divine Decadence as well, which is the flanker, which I'm not really sure what the differences are, but when I smelt it, I really enjoyed it. Cecilia has Decadence as well, loves it. Yes, it's really good. If you haven't tried it, do try it. Dave Barnes, if you're looking for something for your missus, have you tried Decadence? Because it is really, really nice, but obviously it depends what she likes. Iwona, have I tried Reveal by CK? I think that's the salty one, isn't it? I have tried it, but quite a while ago and not to any real extent. Anvi Wheeler, hi Claire, have you smelled Chanel Gabrielle Intense? What do you think of it? Smelled it in Boots today. I did smell it, but I'm not massively over familiar with Gabrielle, the original, to be able to say one is better than the other. When I smelt the original Gabrielle, I was underwhelmed. And then when I smelt Gabrielle Intense, again, it didn't excite me in any way. And I just couldn't be bothered to explore them in any depth. And I'm, you know, maybe I should for my channel, but yeah, it didn't excite me in any way. So I kind of just forgot about it. I was excited to smell Gabrielle Intense, and then when I smelled it, I was like, and then I moved on. Everyday products. Always get compliments wearing women's perfumes, but hardly get compliments when I wear men's perfumes. One way is that, do women like when guys smell something uncommon? I think everyday products that women's fragrances will have more sweetness. They'll often have vanilla and white florals, which are very nice to smell. Men's fragrances, I guess, can be kind of more green, more woody, not so universally appealing in that sense. Shalimar is my most common complimented perfume to date. Nice. Is it the EDP, the EDT, the Eau de Cologne, or the Pure Parfum? Everyday products. It's important that we know this. Anvi Wheeler, you made my decision. So Benjamin from Sentitar Fragrance, Channel Sentitar. Hello, what's your favourite designer fragrance? That is a very good point, Benjamin. I think I've got two, and I'm not going to choose one over the other. So I've already spoken about Alien Essence Absolute. It's only fairly recently discontinued, but you can still find it. Very rich vanilla incense resinous fragrance. Still has some of the Alien aspects, but it's not so crazy in your face loud jasmine. The jasmine's understated, and this is absolutely definitely in my top 3 favourite designer fragrances ever of all time. The other one is Garland's Insolence, My Insolence. So My Insolence is not the one that has the violet, it's the discontinued limited edition, which I thought I had a bottle down here, but it's not. So it looks like this, which is the original Insolence, but this part is white and cloudy, and then round here it says My Insolence rather than Insolence, and that one is a musky almond with some raspberry. It's kind of simple, but it's just so comforting and beautiful, and I love it. So they are, I would say, my favourite 2 designer fragrances of all time. Gonna have a drink because my throat is getting dry. JG saying Dior and Chanel have gone sour recently. think Dior. Yeah. There's nothing from Dior that has excited me for a while. Chanel, no. Yeah, nothing's really grabbed me lately. I'm not sure if I'm still broadcasting. Oh, here we go. Sorry, I think my laptop froze. Here we go. So Peter saying his favourite designers, old designers, are Amarige and Yastis, Poison and Opium. Yes, love the Opiums, and I love some of the Poisons. The original Poison, I can appreciate its uniqueness and its beauty. Probably couldn't wear it. It's the kind of fragrance that would wear me. Amarige, I bloody hated Amarige. Back in the 90s, when I had my first ever job, I worked with this lady who coated herself in Amarige, and it was sickly. It was so sickly. I remember asking her what it was just so I could avoid it at all costs. I haven't really explored it since. Ed from Lucid Senses here. Hi Ed, nice to see you. Just had thoughts on Bottega Veneta line for women. Love the lot of them. Eau de Velours, favourite designer apart from Mugler. Yeah, I think Bottega Veneta are really nice. I like their original, which is like a suede and violet leaf combination. It is different to a lot of the designers out there, and that's why I think Bottega Veneta are really worth looking at. I tried their recent Illusioni line. There's a man's and a women's. I felt like the women's was a little bit too floral. The women's didn't excite me as much as the men's. I thought the men's was really good. I would more likely wear the men's version of the Bottega Veneta Illusione than I would the female one. But I do really like their line, and I really want to try the high-end line, which of course is kind of going off topic because we are talking about normal range designer fragrances. But I really want to try their, I mean, it's Paco Palladian line. The bottles are stunning. Really want to try those. Catch My Whiff says, I'm surprised more women don't wear Aventus. I've worn Aventus once just to review it, and it was fine. It was okay. But I think women, we've all got sweet teeth. We all like a bit of sweetness. We like our sugar and our caramel. Not all of us, but I do. Just checking my comments. We're talking about Samsara. I think I've got some vintage Samsara here, you know. I got a bulk, what do you call it? A group? No. I got a few bottles of perfume in a eBay bid, one of them being this. So it's Samsara. It doesn't have the red around it like like I'm used to seeing, and I know it's now in the B bottle. But this one, it says Eau de Parfum, but it's not got the red around it. So I'm not too familiar with how all of the different vintages work. But it smells good, and I wonder if it's a bit old. Wow, it definitely smells really old. It's got that kind of vintage feel. It might be that the top notes are slightly off as well, but it's good. It is really good. Oh yeah, that is so good. So I don't know how old that is or anything about that. Definitely smells really old and not as soapy as I recall Samsara smelling. Samsara smells quite soapy to me. This is much more vintage. Sandalwood. Yeah, that's really good. I'm going to wear that. Okay, let's check some comments. I'm not very good at navigating comments, so I do apologise. Rue Gomes, hello, hi Rue. I'm really struggling with my laptop. It's not, I haven't got a mouse and I struggle controlling it. Catch My Wife works in an office building, never get any compliments, good or bad. I work in an office. I sometimes get compliments, but most of my colleagues know that I'm into fragrances. So it's more a case of them sometimes saying, "Oh, I like what you're wearing today. What one are you wearing today?" That kind of stuff now. Mel, Samsara was my first perfume I saved up for age 17, so I wish I'd kept that original bottle. Susan, I'd do anything to get a bottle of Untitled Poison at the price I paid back in the days. Yeah, you have to just keep searching eBay and hope that someone doesn't know what they're doing, what they've got. Sentient Man, Raj, Claire, have you tried Garland L'Homme Idéal Intense? I like the whole L'Homme Idéal line. I can't remember all the different variants. I just know that I like most of them. There's a parfum. I like the original, the cologne. I like all of them. I think they are all really pleasant. I haven't tested them fully to say, well, that one's weak, or that one doesn't last, or that one's stronger, or that's got a stronger almond note. But I do enjoy the almond note and the sweetness, the tonka, the richness, the woodiness. I like all of them. I think they are beautiful fragrances. They're a good balance between today's modern, very sweet club incense and yesterday's more masculine. It's like a meeting in the middle, something that's sweet but not too sweet, and you can like it if you like really modern stuff, but you could also like it if you prefer the older, more vintage masculine stuff, I think. Peter saying that's vintage. So talking about my Samsara, there's only a little bit there, but yeah, I'm glad to have that, and it really does smell good. It definitely feels very vintage. Everyday products. Most people are scared to compliment on strangers because they're afraid people think they're flirting. Yeah, it's true. I mean, you have to be a little bit careful, especially I think for the guys. You have to be careful what you say to people, complete strangers. Ed, some of my favourite men's designer frags would be Egoiste. I love Egoiste. Voyage d'Hermès, Parfum. Very nice. Elixir de Marveille. Yeah, that's nice. I like all the Eau de Marveille line. Elixir, L'Ombre, and the original. Opium pour Homme. Oh, yes, I love that. I think we might have similar taste, Ed, because I love all of those. They're kind of very oriental, rich, spicy, vanilla. Yeah, love all that. Rich Mitch, has Mr. Smelly got anything for sale at the moment? Only his soul. Only kidding. I think he's concentrating on gravitas at the moment, and that's certainly for sale. Susan, Pure Excess sounds like it would be up my alley. That's one I need to try. Yeah, let's go back to that. There's a freshness to it, Susan. And I think there's probably a little bit of that ethyl maltol that you get in Baccarat Rouge. It feels a bit like candy floss. Candy floss and pink stuff. Not so much orange blossom now. Definitely quite sugary. The popcorn's not really that prominent either. Very sugary, pink, somehow fresh, but I can't explain where the freshness is coming from. Mohammed Raj, sorry late to the party. You are very welcome, Mohammed. Don't worry what time. It's actually fashionable to arrive late. Cheers. Get yourself a drink. They're in the kitchen. Help yourself. There's snacks, everything you need. Mohammed had black excess but gave it away. Catch my whiff. What is candy floss? Oh, you call it cotton candy. Are you in the States? Catch my whiff. You call it cotton candy. Candy floss, we call it. Everyday products. Saying to catch my whiff will not go to girls to get compliments because I'm afraid they will think I'm harassing them. And there's some talk about time machines. I haven't really followed that whole thing. Sorry. Right, so let's go on to, let's think. Let's go for a men's fragrance and a classic. I have a bottle and I believe it to be vintage. And it's Le Male by Jean-Paul Gaultier. Check out that package. So this one is one that has a sticker on the bottom, which I think means it's pre a particular reformulation when it got a bit weaker. So I love this one. And I think Le Male has this kind of stigma attached to it. It was the fragrance back in the 90s, early 2000s. A lot of gay men would be wearing that out clubbing. A lot of straight men too, I think, were wearing this one clubbing. And it's a very distinct smell. It's a very strong smell. But I think now times have changed and not everyone's wearing this anymore. There's so much choice out there that I hardly ever smell this anymore. Last time I smelt this on someone was when I moved house and one of my removal men was wearing it. And I said, oh, are you wearing Le Male? He said, yeah. So, but that was the first time I smelt that on anyone in a long time. And I think it's really good. And it's so different to what's available now, what we're used to smelling in the men's department. Let me just catch up on comments. Here we go. Just Adelaide got hit with a handbag for asking to smell an old lady. Peter Corcoran, being gay, I wouldn't compliment a guy, but the ladies I do. And I'm losing. I'm really struggling to do the comments. I'm really sorry. So Catch My Whiff saying he's the opposite. He will compliment guys, but he's careful with the women. Mel, my brother used to dose himself in Jean-Paul Gaultier Le Male. Peter Corcoran saying Jean-Paul Gaultier Le Male is awful now. I think their performance has suffered from reformulations. This is good stuff. Jean-Paul Gaultier's got this Le Male. Le Male has got this sort of fresh neroli citrus thing going on, but that's not really what it's all about. It's about I think it's the cardamom, this smooth, musky, slightly soapy thing that's uber clean and kind of in your face. It's quite loud but somehow clean. It's so good. I've worn this several times. I really enjoy it. In fact, I feel like I need to wear it soon. I'm going to wear it soon. I really like it. I don't think it's not potential. I don't think it's particularly mega masculine. I could comfortably wear it. it's not a typical masculine fragrance. Doesn't smell woody. So many men's fragrances smell woody, but this is more musky, soapy, clean, laundry, drying in the breeze. But there is this fougere thing going on that kind of makes it masculine, but it's not uber masculine. Everyday products. Lamel equals gay sailor. Just Add Light still has an old bottle of Lamel. Yeah, it was Francis Kurkdjian that did Lamel because it was his very first ever fragrance. He submitted his fragrance to Jean-Paul Gaultier with about 1,000 other perfumers, and he was a brand new perfumer on the block, and it was Francis Kurkdjian who managed to win he won it. He was the perfumer that got to create Lamel, and that was kind of like the rocket underneath his career that launched him. A very famous and very important fragrance in the fragrance world, in my opinion, and I think most people, a lot of opinions. Did anyone see Jeremy H. Fragrance's daughter? She's in all of his videos now. I don't know if I'm following that one. Iwona, you helped me make up my mind about Alien. Black Friday is coming. What, are you going to get the original Alien or the Absolute? Which one are you getting, Iwona? I might have to top my drink up in a minute. What's everyone drinking? Have we all got a drink? Jeremy got a daughter. I didn't know that. Kay Sargent. Got a compliment from a male co-worker when I was wearing Tango from Musk Milano. Then I knew it was a genuine compliment. I smelled Tango fairly recently because I'd heard a lot about it and I really wanted to try it, but it was a bit too much for me. It was, I can't really remember now, but maybe too incensey, too woodsy, too just too ambery, too much. But it was nice. So Catch My Whiff's got a Bavarian beer. DC Jim R's got Scotch whiskey. Anvi's got some Shiraz. Cheers everyone, let's clink glasses. Clink, clink. I'm going to top mine up now. So I've bought myself some drinks so I can top myself up while I'm sitting here. That sorts out the running out of drinks problem. But my other problem is, what do I do when I need a wee? I either stop or just leave you all hanging, or order a shiwi off Amazon. But I'm not going to do that. I have these anxiety dreams about needing to use the loo and not being able to find anywhere private to go. And I think that's quite common. I've spoken to a lot of people about this, and it's quite normal to dream that you need a wee and you can't find anywhere private to go. Anywho, that's a bit off topic, isn't it? Oh, Sam, thank you very much about my eyes. That's very kind. So, let's talk about Discontinued. I've got a few Discontinued here, and let's cover some of those because that's a whole nother thing, isn't it? And so I've got this one here. It's a bit of a unicorn. Dan, Mr. Smelly, got this for me as a birthday present. He found it on eBay. He said he got it for a really good price. It's hard to get this for a good price. It's By, which is spelled B-Y, by Dolce & Gabbana. And the male version has a zebra print, and this has the, I think it's a leopard print. Smells kind of strange. I'm not quite sure if the top notes are slightly dysfunctional, because I always get a bit of celery from this, and I'm not sure that's quite what you're supposed to be smelling. Actually, it's better than I remember. So let's just check who's drinking what. So Iwona is going to get the Alien Essence Absolute. Good choice, Iwona. It is stunning. It is absolutely one of the best designer fragrances ever. Catch My Whiff's drinking Wahen Stefana. Not sure what that is. Everyday Products, the blonde girl. So the blonde girl in Jeremy's videos they're saying is his daughter. I'm not sure if this is a joke that I'm not quite getting. Haven't watched Jeremy for a little while. Catch My Whiff's got Bavarian beer. Susan's Be Right Back, getting distracted by cats. Everyday Products, they need to bring back Valentino V. Yeah, Dan has some of that. I smelt it, but it was a long time ago and I can't remember what it's like. And Catch My Whiff would like celery to be in more fragrances. I love that. No, Catch My Whiff, you should try Ras de Soleil. Ras de Soleil, which is a Dali fragrance for men. Dan had a bottle of that, and that is so much celery. I really did not like it, but I think if you like celery, you'll like that. It's spelled R-O-I, the Ra, and I can't do it with my brace. I've still got my brace in, you see, and I can't quite pronounce the Ra. So in French, it's almost like you would say R-W-A, Ra, Ra. But now I sound like I'm impersonating an animal. Rich Mitch Valentino Vendetta is immense. Iwona Discontinued Giorgio Armani. Catch My Whiff, can't pronounce his beer either. Glad I'm not the only one. Just Add Light, gotta run. Thanks for the chat, everyone. You guys rock. Cheers, Claire. Thank you, Just Add Light, for joining in. It's been fun. Have fun doing what you're doing. So yeah, I don't know what the notes are in this one by. I can't remember. It feels like there might be cardamom or tobacco. It's very smooth. It's very kind of musky. Again, it feels like it's got some common notes with this one, but it is different. But it's got that smoothness. Mohammed, who's tried black jeans? Who's tried black jeans? I don't think I have. So I'm going to put by the side. That's really nice. I need to give that a proper wearing, really. And we'll carry on with the Discontinued just for a mo. And we'll talk about Midnight in Paris, Van Cleef and Arpels. I have got here the EDP, which is much less common and harder to find. And I've also owned the Eau de Toilette, and I don't find much difference anyway. So there. And I love this bottle. Look at, you can see the light of my ring light reflected in the bottle. Isn't it lovely? So this is one of the most beautiful benzoin resin concoctions. It is absolutely stunning. So smooth and just a lovely, I think it's a rose fragrance, very suede. It's a suede note in here, but it's, for me, mostly about the resins and the benzoin, and it's really beautiful. Shame it's discontinued. Everyday Products has Midnight in Paris EDP, paid less than €18. Wow, you've got a really good deal there. Peter Corcoran, Bond number 9, New Harlem smells like celery to me. I think New Harlem has this weird, I see what you mean. I think it's the Immortelle, has this kind of like savoury note to it, a bit like celery. I think that's what it is. Oh, Mohammed, thank you for super chat. I think it's super chat. You super chatted me. I did enable that a little while ago and then I forgot all about it, but that's very, very kind of you. Thank you very much for super chatting me, Mohammed. Sentient Midnight. So Ed from Sentient Man, Midnight in Paris. Long time no see. Yeah, I think you can still find them. You just have to keep your eyes peeled. And if you did, I'm sure you know Karen Fox, who does the testers. She, I think, still has some Midnight in Paris at a good price. So if you're in the UK, you can actually get it, but you just have to know the right people and search the right places. Everyday Products, bought it before it was discontinued. Yeah, this used to be bandied around as the like a really good cheapie. I remember I did a video on it and I put it in a cheapie video, and then everyone was telling me it's not cheap, it's really expensive now, and all of a sudden the price had just gone skyrocketed. I guess the stock has just depleted to the point that it's now harder to find, and then the price goes up. Rich Mitch never cared for Midnight in Paris. It smells like Mr. Sheen. I can kind of see a little bit what you mean, but there's no sharpness to it. It's very rounded and very smooth and lovely. Yeah, Rich Mitch, Karen Fox is a lady who sells testers here in the UK. Are you based in the UK? She sells testers of a lot of fragrances at very, very good prices. Mohammed, love it as a comfy bedtime after shower. It's a very I think you're right. It's so comforting. Midnight in Paris. Ed, coincidentally, I was looking on eBay this week for Midnight in Paris. I've seen a few. Yeah, if you don't know who Karen is, Ed, just give me send me a message on Facebook or something, and I'll point you in her direction. But I can't remember. I think she charges about £45 a bottle or something like that, 30 something. I can't remember. Rachel, Midnight in Paris is too much tonka for me, but lovely. Made me cough. Yeah, okay, I can see that. Our Rich is Polish. Yeah, I doubt she'll be able to post it to you then. Boricua Algaro, got that 4 years ago for $20 American. Good deal there. So Rich, are you in Newcastle? I'm sorry, I'm getting confused. If you're in Newcastle, you can totally get frags off Karen Fox. Catch My Whiff. Did Dan do a review of the celery fragrance? He definitely mentioned Ras de Soleil in one of his videos, but I couldn't tell you which video now. It was certainly probably about a year ago, so you have to do a bit of searching. Everyday Products. It's sad to see good perfumes getting discontinued and replaced by a gazillion of flankers. Yes, isn't it just? We need more Aventus clones too. Oh my goodness. Oh yeah. Do you know what? I wish there was 100 more Aventus clones, because that would make life so much more interesting, wouldn't it? Yeah. Rich. So Rich, Karen Fox is, you can find, if you're on Facebook, you can find her on Facebook. I think she's Fox's Fragrances. If you can't find her, you need some help, give me a shout, I'll help you. Catch My Whiff, find that celery fragrance on Fragrantica. It's spelled ROI de Soleil, SOLEIL, Ras de Soleil, and it's a Salvador Dali fragrance. It might not necessarily have celery listed. That might be something I've made up, but it totally smells like celery to me. Shane, Midnight in Paris is divine. It brings on the Shangri-La. Rich, put me onto Ms. Fox. I'm not on Facebook. Okay, yeah, we'll figure it out, Rich. I don't know if my email is somewhere. If you email me, or if you give me your email. I don't think Karen is up for anything apart from selling fragrances, boys. So behave yourselves. Right, let's talk about something else then. Designer-wise, I think Lolita Lempicka do a fantastic job of designer fragrances. Not only the female ones, but the men ones too. Dan had Eau de Minuet, which is the black darker bottle. I've got this, which is just called Lolita Lempicka by Lolita Lempicka, and they are all very much licorice-y kind of smells. So Lolita Lempicka has licorice, violet, vanilla, almond. It's got an ivy leaf note, but I don't know what the hell ivy leaf smells like, if it does have a smell. But I do kind of feel a slight greenness in here, but it's very slight. It's more about the licorice. To me, the licorice is massive, and then it's like the vanilla and the almond are kind of 50-50. The problem with this fragrance, the only con in my opinion, is it's very linear. It doesn't do much. You put it on your skin, and what you get from the start is what you get pretty much all the way to the end. But it is a really, really nice note combination. It's a very unusual, it's not like a lot of designer fragrances. And the bottles, in my opinion, are beautiful. I love them. So who has tried Lolita Lempicka or any of the flankers? So I ended up getting this one, which is Minuet Eau Couture. There's a cat hair sitting upon it. Minuet Eau Couture. And I'm not sure there's that much in it when it comes to all the flankers. I think the differences are so minimal that you don't need to own everything. You really don't. Yeah, there's not much in it. Mel, love Lolita Lempicka. Licorice is a favourite snack. I don't like licorice, I've got to be honest with you. The smell's quite nice, but the taste, not so much. The new one doesn't last very long. Mel, are you talking about the different version? The one, this one here, which has got the bite. Where's the bite? It's got like a bite. It's more, what do you call it? More cubical. Not so curvaceous, and it has a bite taken out of the apple. This one's the, I think it's called Le Premier. It's a completely different fragrance. It's got pineapple in it, which is not in. It's much fresher. It's still got some aspects of Lolita Lempicka, the original, but it's got this fresh pineapple note. Lucid scents. Bottles are quite cool. Yeah, I love the bottles. There was a point where I felt like I wanted every single bottle, but then I kind of got over it. Case Sergeant, have Lolita but prefer to eat licorice. Catch My Whiff, don't like licorice either, but really like the original Tommy Hilfiger. I don't know. I had the female version of Tommy Hilfiger going back a long time when it first came out. A beautiful rose fragrance. In fact, Luca Turin gives it quite a few stars. I can't remember how many, but I know that he gives it a big thumbs up. And I have to say, it's a really good fragrance, the female Tommy Hilfiger. Rich, I'm off. I'll drop you a comment on another video and an email. So yeah, let me know your email and I'll sort you out. I'll hook you up with Karen. Mel, yes, the new crumpled bottle. Yeah, it's not the same. It's got pineapple in it. It's not the same. Try and get the orig. You should be able to track it down fairly easily. It's a lot better. Oh, you should be able to find it. Just keep your eye on eBay and just keep looking. You will find it. That's what happened to me. That's how I got it. Licorice isn't a listed note. I can't remember how they list it, but I think they only list it as they might list it as anise or aniseed. But for me, I can't tell. Fennel, aniseed, licorice, star anise. They might list it as star anise, but they all have that same kind of licoricey smell. Let's have a little drink. I might need a wee soon, so I might have to go. Cat's just behind me. Allspice, yeah, allspice, 5-spice, that kind of thing. Generally, I think the star anise takes over all of those things and has that licoricey type smell. So let's try a different one. Let's go for, I've got a couple of poison flankers here. And this is quite a new one, and it's Poison Girl Eau de Toilette. And I only have this because I bought a little job lot on eBay. And I think I got this, did I get this with this? I might have got this with this, which is a Hypnotic Poison Eau Secret. So this is a flanker of Hypnotic Poison that was only, I think, briefly available. And it came up in a job lot. I think, I could be wrong because I'm very often wrong. Could be that it came up with this, but I know that I got Poison Girl Eau de Toilette purely because it came with something else that I wanted. Because I knew that I found Poison Girl Eau de Parfum a bit too sweet, and I wasn't expecting to really like the Eau de Toilette much better. And I think from memory, the Eau de Parfum is probably way more up my street than the Eau de Toilette, which is very sharp. Very orangey, like orange, a fizzy frozen orange lolly, which may well be known as an orange creamsicle over in the States. But slightly creamy. Creamy, orange, fizzy, sugary, sweet opening. That is quite sharp to the point that my tongue feels sore just sniffing it. And then in the dry down, it all kind of smooths out and you get a beautiful caramel vanilla combination with some orange blossom. It's very nice, but it's just too sweet for me and too sharp in the opening. But if you like gourmands, you may well like this one. It's not bad. It's a bit generic with everything else that's going on in the world, but it's okay. Yeah, I will probably be putting this back on eBay separately, all on its own. I don't think I need to own it. I'm not really going to choose to wear it. I've worn it on skin. I've tested it quite a few times. It's just a bit, I don't know. Poison was this crazy fragrance back in the day. You know, it was banned. It was banned in certain places. You couldn't wear Poison because it was too strong and got up people's noses, and it wasn't very sweet. It was crazy. It was weird. And now they, out of nowhere, made a very girly, sweet caramel, white floral thing. So yeah, it's slightly a shame that they didn't do something a little more interesting. Do you want to smell Eau Secret? Hypnotic Poison Eau Secret. This one's much more interesting. So this is a tester that I got, and the notes are on the back: mandarin, jasmine and vanilla. And this is more like the Hypnotic Poison. So this is much more my thing. The mandarin just gives it that sweet, orangey thing. But it's not the same as what was in that Poison Girl. It's not as sharp. There's an almond note that's kind of linked with the mandarin and the vanilla, and it's very smooth. It's smooth and it's fluffy and it's very lovable and it's very comfortable. Much prefer this. I don't think the performance is that great. I've only tested it a couple of times. Didn't get massive longevity or projection, but I don't care. It's nice to have something that's a little bit unusual. Not everyone has it. I really enjoy it. So I like that one. So that's one of the discontinued ones. Who loves Hypnotic Poison, the original Hypnotic Poison? There's an EDT and an EDP, and I think they're a bit different. Mel had a school friend who either wore Poison or Obsession all the time back then. Cool. And what I love about those perfumes from way back when is they do bring back these memories, whether it's family, friends, things that you used to get up to. There's just this memory that's linked. Catch My Whiffs, never tried any of the poisons. I would recommend checking them out. Depends what you like, of course. Hypnotic Poison is a gourmand lover's dream. The original Poison is a crazy, non-sweet, strange thing. Tendre Poison is kind of green and fresh. Quite hard to find though. Pure Poison, Magnolia, very clean, bracing, cold white floral. Catch My Whiff, Willing to Rock a Lady, Frag, Love, Mugler Alien. Angel, sorry. Angel, I could never quite get on with the original. Too much patchouli for my taste. I've smelt it on other people and enjoyed it, and I like it when it goes a bit chocolatey, but on me, the patchouli's a bit not just too much. I definitely prefer the aliens over the angels myself, and I think men can totally rock alien or angel, no problem whatsoever. Ed from Encens, fragrances of that ilk are definitely nostalgic. Definitely. Let's see what else we've got here. I need to kind of start moving on. So I've got Insolence by Garland. This is the EDT. There's an Eau de Parfum and loads of flankers. This is Hairspray. This is your mum getting ready for a night out when you're really little. It's Hairspray and violets, and that is kind of it. It's fun, it's frivolous, it's flirty. Lots of people love Insolence. My mum has the Eau de Parfum. I bought that for her, and it's lovely on her. I have this because it was a mistake. I bought it on eBay and it was advertised as my Insolence, and when it came it wasn't my Insolence, so that's why I've got it. I might sell it because I don't want it. I want more my Insolence. I've now got 3 my Insolence bottles, 2 this size and 1 30ml, and that is my pretty much becoming my signature scent. Not that I really have a signature scent because I wear so much stuff all the time, but if I had one it would be my Insolence, which is the almond, fluffy, musky, very clean fragrance. It doesn't have anything, it's nothing like this. I don't even know why it's in this family. Ilk, yes, the word ilk. Well done, Ed. Ed has got one of the best vocabularies in Fragcom. Go and check out his channel, Lucid Sense. I know you've not posted for a while, Ed, but I'll always remember your Anubis from Papillon review. Amazing. His reviews are brilliant, guys. Click on him and check out his channel. But don't go just yet. Hang on a bit longer, then go check out Ed's channel. Okay, I'm nearly done through my collection. Quickly, this one, Dan, it's another one Dan lent me. He got sent it by Essential. I reviewed it today. It's called Rose and Rose by Issey Miyake. And in a few words, it's a fresh rose. There's 2 types of rose, centifolia and I think it's Bulgarian rose. 2 types of rose, and there is that issy freshness, but it's calmed down. There's a touch of the issy freshness, like a mountain air, and then it dries down on your skin to a really quite nice resinous thing, but it is just a skin scent very, very quickly. So the performance is not great. So Dan has lent me that. I don't feel the need to own it myself. It's quite nice, but not that exciting. And then I have Garland's Terracotta. Smells like suntan lotion and holidays. White florals. I think it's, I'm not sure if it's a Lang Lang, but it does smell a little bit tuberosy now, which I don't think it's supposed to. Just a white floral suntan lotion thing. That's sunshine in a bottle and very, very pretty. Performance on this for me is not great. A few hours and I would reapply it. However, it's just pure fun. Fun in the sun, that one. And then another one that Dan has... Dan actually gave me this one. He was sent it by Essential again. Kenzo World. I'm probably going too fast. Am I going too fast? Sorry. Kenzo World Power Eau de Parfum, this one is. Ed, please start reviewing again. Just do it. Don't be shy. Case Digen, Love Terracotta. It is really pretty and sunny and happy, that fragrance. Susan's back. Hope the kitties are okay, Susan. Kenzo World Power is vanillic. Let's just try it here. So I have this because Dan gave it to me and I quite liked it when I blind sniffed it. Oh, it does have, it has that chemical, that synthetic ambroxan type woodsy synthetic aromas, chemical aromas, aroma chemicals sitting underneath some vanilla and some syrupy, slightly fruity floral thing. But it is really pretty. It's kind of unusual. I feel like there's like a slight savoury edge to it that saves it from being overly sweet. A touch peachy, but not sickly peachy. Susan says perfumes with licorice can go very Jägermeister on me. Yeah. Jägermeister is not a good look, is it? It's been a few times I've had too many Jaegers. Can't believe we put that stuff inside of us because, yeah, it's syrupy and thick. And okay, Kenzo World Power isn't bad. Probably a touch generic, but it's got some things going on that makes it slightly more interesting. So I think I've done with designers, and I'm just going to quickly take you with me through 2 new fragrances I've got here, which are decants or samples. And we are going to go with, if I can find it, I'm going to have to stretch one. I've got the cat sitting right behind me. She's so awkward. Oops. Just knocked over. So yeah, cat's just there. So let's start. I've got a creed here. I've got a new creed and it's Encens Angelique or Angelique Encens. A lovely fragrance friend sent it to me. She managed to get it in a Creed boutique recently and wasn't that blown away and was happy to send it on, and that's really, really kind. And I smelled it the other day. I did a little bit on my hand. I bumped into Mr. Smelly, or Mr. Smelly came round to do a frag chat and I had him smell it to find out if he thought the same as I did. And actually we've got quite similar thoughts on it. I'm going to sneeze in just a moment. I think excuse me. So yeah, I had Mr. Smelly smelt it, and I had it on my hand, and I said to him, "Does it remind you of anything?" And he said, "Yes, it kind of reminds me of Garland's Louis, which is Garland Lui, the little black bottle, and that's exactly what it reminded me of. Also, it reminds me of Ambra del Napoli from Profumi Firenze, and it also reminds me of Bois d'Harmonie from Garland, and that's another one that Dan said it also reminded him of. So that gives you an idea of what Angelique Encens smells like. If you know any of those fragrances, excuse me, I belched. Actually, on paper, it's quite different to how it was on my skin. And it's not as nice on paper. On paper, it smells really vintagey. And a lot sharper and almost aldehydic. Yeah, it's reminding me a little bit of Chanel No. 5, that vintage aldehyde thing. Which on my skin, I really didn't get. So let's go on skin here, because this is quite different. On my skin, it was. Does anyone know papier d'harmonie? Papier d'harmonie, those little pieces of paper that you burn as incense. So there's pieces of paper that are soaked in benzoin and various resins to give off a smell, and you light them, you blow them out, and they burn down, and they scent your house. That's how this smells to me. Yeah. Slightly animalic, actually. Now, I don't know if my perception's changed because I've had a few drinks, but there's something a little bit, it reminds me of Hyraceum or Hyrax, which is that animalic note. It comes from a cat's poo. I think it's cat's poo. Could be wrong. A particular cat. Kind of like a cat, not really a cat. And it's in Vogue's May. And it reminds me of barbecued meat. I'm not really doing this much justice, am I? But I never got it until now, and now I get that Hyraceum note, which I don't think is supposed to be there. It's kind of like barbecued meat, and it's a bit dirty, which is weird because I never got that before. Oh no, that's Kenzo World. So when I smelt it yesterday, and when Dan smelt it, it smelled like papier d'harmonie. It smelled like benzoin, and it was very resinous but sweet and very powdery and very nice. The thing is, sweet is off. The thing is, it was like smelling the dry down from the offset. So it felt like there was no top notes, and it was quite linear. Yeah, it's getting better now. It's sweeter. There's lots of benzoin going on in here, and it's very powdery. It's very incensey, but it's not incense that's burning. It's incense in the box. You know, like you smell a box of incense. It's quite nice, but I wouldn't buy a bottle. I will. There's a couple more sprays left in that sample, so I'm going to give it more time. I was really curious because there's not many reviews out there of Angelique Encens or Encens Angelique, whatever it might be. Has anybody else tried it? I thank you for the bless you, catch my whiff. Has anyone else tried Creed's Encens Angelique? Let me know, and then we are now going to smell the last smell of the night, and it is Serge Lutens Le Couche de Diable. Now, when you Google translate Le Couche de Diable, you will get the devil's diaper as the result. But that's not quite correct. I've done a little bit of research and I watched a review from Delicious Delights, and someone commented on her video and said, actually, I'm from France and what it means is the bed of the devil. So if you think of it, couche means to sleep. So that, you know the song, Voulez-vous coucher avec moi? Will you sleep with me? So coucher is to sleep. So it kind of means la couche de diable is the devil's bed, which is a lot more of an acceptable idea than the devil's nappy or diaper, because diapers obviously are full of shit and piss, and nobody wants the smell of shit and piss, whether it's from a devil or anything else. So I'm quite pleased to know that it's not a nappy, it's a bed. When I did a different Google Translate, it came up as a layer, the devil's layer, as in a layer, like a layer cake. Yeah, layer, Layer. So I think it depends, but from what this person said, it probably means bed, the devil's bed. Now, this fragrance is not as scary as I expected. I could definitely wear it. It's not animalic. It's incensey. When it first opens up, it's like a eucalyptus medicinal sauna or steam room type feel. I'd say sauna because it's very woodsy. So it's like you're in a sauna, but it's not too dry though. It's not dry like a sauna. Sauna's dry? Yeah, saunas are dry, steam rooms are wet. It's like a sauna, but it's not mega dry. It's woodsy, it's eucalyptusy. There's this incensey feel. It gets a little bit sweet. There's kind of a rosiness to it, but it's a very understated rose. It's more woodsy, more incensey. And when I had a spray on my hand earlier today, it got sweeter and very woodsy. And it reminded me a little bit of Interlude Man. So Amouage Interlude Man, which is often known as the Blue Beast. It felt that ballpark area, but this is not a beast. It feels very strong, but it's not a crazy beast like Interlude Man is. Has anybody else tried this one, which is Serge Lutens' Le Couche de Diable? Has anybody else tried it? I was expecting something a lot weirder, a lot more difficult to understand, a lot harder to wear, and actually I could wear this. It's not my ballpark, it's not my usual thing. It's perhaps a touch too incensey / medicinal. So there is an oud note in here, but I don't really get it because I don't like oud and I really don't pick up on it. It's woodsy, sweet, ambery, rose, incense. It's actually quite pleasant. So not what I was expecting at all. No nappies here whatsoever. Catch More, if not tried it. Case Digen, do you like any of the Tom Ford regular line? Yes. That's a point. I have got one here that I really like. Where is it? Here we are. The men's version of Tom Ford Noir Extreme. I've got a little decant here. I like almost all the men's Tom Ford signature line. In particular, the Noir version. So Noir Extreme, Noir Eau de Parfum, and the Noir Eau de Toilette. I think they're all really, really nice. I like the sweetness, and what I like is they don't get too sweet. The female Noir, the Noir Eau de Parfum, is too sweet for my taste. The men's is much more up my street, and even that's got a kind of minty lift to it, eucalyptusy. but it's nutty and it's sweet and it's vanillic and it's lovely, but it's not too sweet. I've lost my computer now. Let's check. Ed from Lutens hasn't tried anything for Serge Lutens in a long time. Willing to give this a sniff though. I think you'll like it, Ed. I think if you liked Anubis, which I know you did, I think you will. I think you'll like it, definitely. In fact, I think you'll be underwhelmed, if anything, because it's not as interesting as the title might suggest. Okay, I think I'm going to have to call it a night because I really need a wee. So, and I'm kind of running out now of, I've gone through all my designer fragrances that I've got. I have got all these decants over here, but I think I just need to go and drain the snake. Thank you so much everyone for joining in. It's been fun. It's been a lovely social fraggy event, and I will definitely be doing more of these videos. Please, if you have any suggestions, anything that you would like to discuss, anything you think we should all chat about in future, just put your suggestions in the comments below and I will definitely consider them and do my best. Maybe we can incorporate a few different subjects into one evening's chatting. But for now, thank you so much everybody. Honestly, it means a lot. It really, I know people say this shit all the time. I actually don't say it that often, but it really means a lot that you've all joined me tonight on your Saturday night or Saturday afternoon or morning, whatever time it may be in the world where you are. I really appreciate that you've joined me and everybody else, and we've all come together and had a lovely time. So cheers to you. Thank you again, and I will see you in the next one.